Hi everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and despite the overcast skies down here, we're still going to do a show and we're going to talk insurance. I'm here with Dan Priest of Priest Insurance out of Lumberton, but he has ties in a home down here, and you've seen some of his shows the end of last year and the first of this year. Dan, we were talking a while ago and we were talking about all the homes being sold.
Right.
And people buy them and then they decide, well, we're not using it that much, let's put it in the rental pool. Building costs have gone up. What do we need to do? It's that time of year. Hurricane season will be here before we know it.
Right.
We have spring storms. What can people do if they're, one, I'm assuming they need to go over their insurance because costs have increased.
Yeah.
But if they're going to rent their house, what else do they need to do?
That's a whole lot that you kind of opened up there, and so
we got plenty of
that's
time.
All right. So, well, we'll keep it short. But getting back first to the first thing you mentioned is housing prices have gone up, insurance costs have gone up, and taxes have gone up. So one of the things that we're finding, people that originally just bought a house to come down on the weekends or just to have for themselves, they're having to find a way to cover their costs, so people are starting to rent their house some, a little bit, if not full time. And part of the problem is every policy that you get is built for a different thing. So sometimes you're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. So a policy that was there just for your primary home or just for your weekend rental doesn't work for a vacation rental.
Right.
The policy contract is different, and if you don't look at your insurance and get the right policy, if someone gets hurt, you could be stuck without coverage in the event that happens. So that leads me into something it's time to take a look and review what you have and what you're covering.
And even if it's just friends coming down renting, everyone says, oh, it's just my friends. But man, when something happens, someone falls down the stairs or a banister breaks, friendships are off a lot of times.
Friendships are off.
And it's better to have the coverage, pay a little bit now, than you could be stuck in court later.
Yep.
Cost, housings. There's some houses down here that are actually selling for $500 a square foot.
Right.
I know one 2 weeks ago, I don't know if it's gone through yet, $650 a square foot, where we used to see $250. I think the average is like $385 or something like that. Someone that bought a house, between the pandemic and Ike, or had a house built, costs were a lot less.
They were.
And so when you have a policy now, it could cost you on some houses another 40%, 50% to build your house back if something happened. What do they need to do for their insurance to make sure that's covered?
Well, you need to review, because if you haven't made changes to your policy in a long time, and oftentimes that just happens, you just renew and you renew, and changes to your policy usually means that the price goes up. And that none of us want that to happen. I don't, but it's just a fact. And if we don't insure our place properly, when something happens, and it will, then
and we say this every show, it's not a matter of, are you gonna need it? It's when you're going to need it.
And you will. And so what you can find is if you're not insured correctly, insured to value, you will find a hidden deductible that's far beyond your regular deductible. So one of the things that you can do is talk to your person, and now is a good time. Talk to us or a local agent that works with insurance. And this is a great time because things are changing in flood insurance, and you need to be aware of that. And we're currently, as flood renews, we're contacting our clients about that. But when you look at what else has happened, windstorm has also had a recent rate increase, and there's a new building code. And that changes what you may or may not need to do with that. And also just the cost of construction, whether it's a sale value or just the cost to build a home, you've got to maintain and push your policy that way. And there's ways that we can talk to you about reducing the cost and insuring correctly to make sure that when you have a claim, that you're taking care of the way you need to be taken care of.
I'm going to throw something out here real quick because it just popped in my head. Yeah, and that's dangerous. And we can do another show on this. Aaron and Franklin has an inspection program where they come in yearly and inspect your home, sort of like taking driver's ed.
Okay.
Is there anything in the works that you know of that if an engineering company comes in and inspects your home and says, okay, this is the code, this is the code, this is right, the banisters are tight, the light bulbs are tight, no water's leaking anywhere. Is there any kind of discount in home insurance like there is in car insurance if you take driver's ed in that? It's just something I thought about.
There is a discount on windstorm based on the construction code that your house is built.
Okay.
But unless you make a full out change to upgrade, then that's not going to fully affect. It's just how it's built at the time. But one of the ways that you can help defray your costs, and one of the things we like to do, is you've heard of the term bundling, and sometimes that applies and not, but making sure that all your bases are covered with your primary home, with your home here at the beach, and there's ways to overlap that coverage to reduce cost, as well as massaging deductibles and looking at that.
Well, and I'm sure if you do any car insurance or golf cart insurance or boat insurance, is that where you can get a discount too, the more you have?
You bet. The more you have, and again, it helps us to look at from a top-down view, helps us look at how to cover all the bases and fill the gaps that you may have.
Great, great. Well, we're going to do some more shows this spring on the new building codes and several other things, so stick around. Dan, thanks for joining us this morning. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Call Priest Insurance Agency, let them look over your policy and see if they can save you money. God bless, and bye-bye.